Hey family, it's Camila Stevenson. Let's talk wealth because there's some people who are looking at their portfolio and they're feeling mighty discouraged. There are people who've been buying consistently day after day, month after month, and still watching some of these assets come down, XRP dipping near $2. And people are still wondering, did I make the right decision? And am I crazy for believing this? And I want to tell you something that wealthy people already know. The moment that you feel most exhausted is usually the exact moment you're being shaken out of your blessing, because while retail investors are panicking, while people online are screaming XRP isn't going to go over $3, and beginners are selling out of fear, at the same time, the whales, the people with the deepest pockets and the longest vision, they are quietly accumulating more XRP, more cryptocurrency than ever. And I don't want you to sell your wealth to them like many people have already done. So the real question isn't, is XRP going to go to the moon? The real question is, why are the wealthiest people loading up at the exact prices that retail is scared of? Now, this video is not about predictions. It's about keeping you grounded and helping you to stay positioned and teaching you the psychology and the macro strategy that wealthy people use to build generational wealth. Now, before we go deeper, I want to say that this is not financial advice. I'm not telling you what to buy, hold, or sell. I'm simply helping you to understand the bigger picture so you don't get emotional with your decisions. And if you appreciate conversations like this that are calm, wise, intelligent for breakdowns of money and mindset, go ahead and hit that like button for me and make sure that you subscribe so that you do not miss a video. Now, I want to talk about something that's going on right now. People are not scared because XRP is not going to do what it was meant to do. They're scared because their nervous system is tired. Sideways movements wear people down. Slow growth wears people down. Dips under $2 or around $2 for an XRP or Bitcoin going down wears people out. This is what markets do on purpose. They exhaust the average investor because listen, most people don't quit during a crash. They quit during boredom. They quit during discouragement. They quit during the waiting season. Wealth isn't always built in excitement. I love it when it is, but it's not always like that. Wealth is built in the quiet seasons when nothing seems to be happening, where everything is consolidating and everybody around you is losing patience. That's exactly when retail starts saying things like XRP going to zero, Bitcoin going to zero, XRP can't go back to $3. I hear you. I read the comments. There are people who are like, I'm done. I can't do this no more. Why isn't it to the moon yet? Every time good news come out, it keeps dropping and this ain't working. But think about this logically. If something was wrong with XRP, if XRP was going to zero, if XRP was worthless, why are the whales loading up? Why are institutions accumulating? Why are big players buying every dip that comes either under $2 or around $2? Wealthy people do not accumulate assets they believe are finished. They accumulate assets in moments where retail is blinded by fear. This is not a moment of collapse. This is a moment of transfer. One of the greatest wealth transfers in crypto happening right under your nose while fear tries to talk you out of your future. So family, let's break this down really quick, because if you don't understand the psychology of the wealthy, you're going to keep reacting like the retail crowd. And retail thinking is what destroys wealth. Whales and wealthy investors move completely different than the average person. First of all, retail waits for excitement. Whales wait for exhaustion. Retail want green candles and whales want discounts. I know I do. Retail buys the top out of FOMO, while whales, they buy the bottom out of discipline. Retail fears the dip. Whales feed on the dip. Retail sells because they're tired. Whales accumulate because you're tired. This is the part most people don't want to accept. Whales are not emotional. You are. Whales are not impatient. You are. Whales are not checking their portfolios every 10 minutes. You are. And do you know what whales love? They love moments just like this. They love moments when there's a dip, when there's a correction, when there's a recession. They love those type of moments. And they also love when retail is frustrated and everybody thinks it's stuck and retail gets exhausted and social media is negative and people start dumping out of fear. Whales look at those conditions and say, Thank you. You've just made my long-term position cheaper, right? If you sell, you're selling it to them at a lower cost. If whales believe that these assets were going to zero and they were going to crash and never recover or go higher, they wouldn't be buying millions of dollars worth in the uncertainty. They wouldn't be silently accumulating at these levels. They wouldn't be loading up while retail is crying. Whales are not stupid. They are strategic. Retail is not stupid either. They're emotional though. And I want you to think about this for a moment. Every time there's a dip, there is panic in the retail sector. And I'm telling you, the whales are buying. Why? Because I'm looking at it, right? That alone should tell you everything that you need to know. Who do you think will be on the right side of history? The people accumulating during fear or the people selling during fear? This is why you cannot let your emotions dictate your wealth. In the markets, the nervous system creates poverty. But strategy creates wealth. Calm creates wealth. Long-term thinking creates wealth. And this is where you decide which side you're going to be on. Now, let's take this even deeper because this isn't just psychology. This is macro reality. Every major wealth transfer in history happened during moments where everyday people were tired, fearful, or distracted. And wealthy people were, again, quietly positioning. That's what they do. Now, right now, liquidity is shifting globally. The reverse carry trade has shaken some of the markets. Go back and watch some of my videos on those. Institutions have been rebalancing. FX markets are stressed. Monetary policy is tightening. Retail sentiment is at a low. But you know what hasn't changed? Whales are accumulating these assets like XRP, like nothing is wrong. Now, why would wealthy investors, again, be loading up during a macro shakeup if they believe that this wasn't going to work out for them? You think they're loading up on their millions and billions of dollars for nothing? Why would institutionals' wallets grow in this time? Why would high net worth accounts increase their positions? And why would OTC desks see increased activity in utility coins? Look it up for yourself. Do your own due diligence because wealthy people understand something that retail forgets. Price is not truth. Price is the distraction. Flow is the truth. Positioning is the truth. On the charts, fear looks very loud when you're looking at this, but behind the charts, the accumulation is looking really silent. You got to find it, right? When liquidity tightens, retail is going to sell the emotions. But again, there is opportunity behind this. That's what's happening right now, whether people can see it or not. And listen, if you can learn to keep your nervous system calm during these moments, you're going to stop getting shaken out of opportunities that I know when you get into your future, you're going to look back and you're going to be highly disappointed in the decisions that you made. So this is not a moment of collapse. This is a moment of transition, a moment that will create generational separation between those who stay positioned and those who panic. Now, by the way, I do want to say this. If all the macro conversation feels new to you and you're realizing nobody ever taught you how global liquidity, psychology, and financial strategy actually works, I keep telling you, please don't stay confused. This is why I'm pointing people to Stock Up University. It's the clearest, simplest financial education program out there. It teaches you how to think and not react. And it also teaches you how markets move, financial literacy, and it will increase your wealth IQ. And if you want to check it out, there is a special discount for my audience through the link in the description. Use the code EARN to save, and it'll help you continue to build your financial literacy the right way. Now, let me share something with you that most people don't realize. Hear me out. Your nervous system affects your money more than your portfolio does. If your nervous system is dysregulated, meaning you're anxious, you're overwhelmed, you're impatient or fearful, you will always sell at the bottom. You're going to chase hype. You're going to exit too early. You're going to enter too late, and you will sabotage your entire wealth journey. Not because you're dumb, not because you don't believe, and not because the asset that you're buying is bad, but it's because survival mode makes you react emotionally instead of strategically. And this is why sideways markets feel like torture. Boredom feels like danger. You get the urge to just do something. It's just hard for people to sit in a place for a while. And you also feel pressure to sell when you need the cash. You question your entire decision-making process. Is this working? Is this going to go the right way? And then the small dips feel catastrophic to you when really, again, they should be opportunity. This is not just the chart talking. It's your body talking. Meanwhile, wealthy people are regulating their nervous system. They don't let fear hijack their mind. Wealthy people understand one thing. Markets don't build wealth. You got it twisted. You thought it did. No, your emotional discipline does. If you fix your nervous system, you fix your wealth. And honestly, the truth is that most people lose their money and their resources because they were emotionally exhausted. They didn't know how to regulate the pressure. They didn't know how to stay calm long enough to see the reward. They get very impatient and it makes them make bad decisions. And if you don't believe me, go back and watch all the millions of documentaries out there about how rich people lose all of their resources while lottery winners barely keep their money. Listen, your future wealth depends on your ability to stay positioned. When your emotions are screaming at you to quit your disciplines, this is when you need to stay grounded. This is when you need values and you need a structure in place. You need foundation that you can live off of. You need principles that's going to help you to weather the storm. Now, listen, I want to share this because this is very, very important. If there is an event that you feel like you do have to sell, I want to give you some love and clarity with this. Try your best not to sell your future to fix a temporary problem. I know times can get tight. I know you may be dealing with pressure, with bills, with life changes, responsibility, unexpected costs. And when money gets tight, the first instinct people have is, well, maybe I should sell my XRP, my Bitcoin, my cryptocurrency. And I'm not talking about for a profit. I'm talking about because times are tight and you're trying to relieve the pressure. But the truth is, listen, you don't fix a financial challenge by dismantling the very asset that could change your entire financial future. So instead of selling your positions, let's talk about selling your clutter. You see, you might have hundreds or even thousands of dollars sitting right around your house. Shoes you don't wear, clothes you haven't touched in months, tech gadgets collecting dust, old phones and tablets and cameras, maybe gym equipment, kitchen appliances, furniture, subscription services that you may have forgot that you had. Every single one of those things sit there. They do nothing while you consider selling the one thing that may build generational wealth for you. Let me say that again. Sell your clutter and not your conviction. Selling your assets is like chopping down a fruit tree because you're hungry today. No, you prune the branches. You gather the extra scraps. You make room. You do what you must do, but don't kill the tree. There are other ways to generate money without sabotaging your long-term wealth strategy. The way wealthy people think is, listen, my assets are sacred. Everything else is negotiable. And again, I'm not talking about swing trades or profit trades. I'm talking about your long-term wealth portfolio. And that's how I've lived my life and how most wealthy people operate. And that's the mindset shift that you need right now. And I hope you're paying yourself first, by the way, because I know as soon as people get money, they're rushing to pay bills, but you got to learn how to pay yourself first. Don't let short-term challenges force you into long-term regret. Just let assets be an absolute last and exhaust all of your resources before you do this. You're here because you feel something bigger happening. You know that this is a moment to prepare, to build, to stay positioned, to move in wisdom and not emotion. And listen, if you actually want to understand this stuff, the macro cycles, the liquidity, the psychology, crypto, long-term wealth building, that's why I'm always recommending Stock Up University. I'm going through it myself, by the way, and I'm going through some lessons over and over. And I'm telling you, it's one of the most brilliant, practical, financial, educational programs out there. It will help you to build confidence and to make the right investment moves. And it covers everything imaginable. There is a special discount available through the link in the description. Use my code EARN and join if you're ready to deepen your literacy. And if you want hands-on support, mindset guidance, community accountability, live coaching, and help with building your portfolio step by step, that's exactly what my membership group is for. We learn, we grow, we build, and we keep each other grounded in seasons just like this. Listen, do not let fear rob you. Don't let impatience sabotage you. Don't sell your future because of a temporary emotional storm. You are building something real. You are preparing for a wealth transfer, and it's happening. And I'm telling you, 2026 is about to be absolutely insane, and you are more equipped than you think. So continue the journey. Stay calm, stay positioned, stay wise, stay wealthy, and I'll see you in the next one.